Hello, everybody, and welcome to our podcast, Fresh Off the Set. I'm David Osmond. Glad to have you with me today as I introduce you to some really good friends of mine that are changing the world. It's the Butterfly Effect. It is a charity, a 501c3, self-sustained. It is unbelievable. It is so powerful, and it's changing so many lives. I'm so happy to introduce you to the Other Side Village. Today with me is the CEO, Preston Cochran, as well as the general manager of the Other Side Donuts, and we're going to explain all these different enterprises involved. Nicholas Smith, thank you both for joining me today, you guys. This is such a great topic, something that so many of my friends and personal connections are passionate about, and I'm glad to sit down and introduce you to our audience for the Other Side Village. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, for those that are just listening in, I've never heard of the Other Side Village, the Other Side Donuts, all these other enterprises that you have involved in this. What is this charity and who do you help?
The Other Side Village is a venture that's affiliated with the Other Side Academy. Many folks know the Other Side Academy. They've been to either a thrift store, they've used our construction company, they've used our Other Side Movers, which is the #1 rated moving company in Utah. Little do they know, that's all the same organization.
The thrift store, the movers, you have all these other verticals, these enterprises, but they all support the cause of who you help. And who is that exactly? What does it all support?
Go ahead, Nicholas.
It's the guy that you drove past when you were flying through the overpass that you rolled your window up on and you didn't hand him money. It's the lady you see pushing the shopping cart down the road. That's who we're helping with the Other Side Village. As soon as they show a strong desire to change and they want something different, we will hand them the bracelet that we gave you today, and that'll have a phone number on there. And that's how you reach out to us, and we do an interview to see if you're truly ready to take on that responsibility and join this community.
Those that are involved, those that are making this happen are the homeless, are those that are recently were incarcerated, that are now trying to get their lives together, and it is a massive community effort. We were saying before we started recording this, not just 100% accountability. You say 200% accountability. Explain that.
So none of this would work without that. So if you make a mistake, if you're not living to the high standard that we set, it's my responsibility to say, hey, you need to do better, or you need to treat that person with respect. You need to get up and show to work on time. That's it. My responsibility is to hold you accountable to the standard that you agreed to live by. And then you'll do that with me. And if we're both doing that, we raise each other up. And that's community, that's healthy relationships, that's it right there. That simple idea is how you create 5-star rated moving companies, a successful, beautiful donut shop. All of these enterprises, it's how they're made possible. And with the support of many amazing individuals like Preston over here.
It's those that aren't just showing up to a job. This is the changing your life. You're showing up to a whole new life. It's the concept of not just giving a man a fish and feeding for a day. It's the teaching how to fish. It's the accountability. It's the community. This is how you change lives.
Yeah, it's what we call whole person change, whole person care, based on a human first approach. So the difference between the academy and the village, both have a unique perspective, a unique proposition. The academy, just to give you an idea, the average student at the academy has been incarcerated 26 times.
Wow.
The average villager or neighbor in the Other Side Village has lived on the streets for 10 years. Just to put that in perspective. So imagine.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's not going to, if you've been incarcerated 26 times, or you've been on the street, and you maybe suffer from or struggling with a substance use, a 30, 60, 90-day program is not going to do much for you.
Yeah.
You need a long-term program to really help you change your behavior, get you back into reality. And a lot of times people, when they come off the street, they're still in this numb mode.
Yeah.
Right? Their mind can't think straight. We've got to get their meds stabilized or on the right medication.
Yeah.
We need to give them purpose. We need to do that with dignity.
Purpose, indeed. The hopelessness. There's probably a stigma that goes along with feeling like, oh, you've been incarcerated 26 times. Like maybe there's no hope for this person. But this is proof that that's not true. There is an opportunity to change a life with the right structure, the right program. And it's not that you just force people into this program. This has to be...
They have to want it.
The individual comes to the table and almost submits themselves and say, I need help, and I'd like to be a part of this. Is that how it works?
It does. At the academy, you can walk in right off the street. You can sit on the bench and get an interview. At the village, we either find you or get a referral from someone, a community partner, and then we'll interview you, determine if you're a good fit for it. You have to be living a sober lifestyle in the village.
Yeah.
For some, that may be a barrier. We'll help you. We'll take you to detox, and when you're done, we'll pick you up. But you have to want it. Mom and dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, they may want it for you, but unless you want it, it's not going to work.
Wow. And now giving that purpose you're talking about, there's so many layers. Like you said, the #1 rated moving company. I mean, you wouldn't think about that. But when you have a focus and a program that helps people get off their struggles and into a path of success, wow, you've got incredible talent to be able to make these businesses flourish in a great way. You've got the moving, you said so many other ones, and now the donuts is a brand new offering. I went to the shop just yesterday. Guys, if you get a chance, if you're in Salt Lake over on Redwood Road, you should go check out the village and this donut shop. It is the coolest place. What you've done with just the structure of the building, let alone the donuts, these are works of art. I couldn't believe the artistry that went into these donuts. They're delicious, but you should go check them out. If you're online, go check it out.
Well, and when it comes to even the donut enterprise, it started off, leadership gave us an amazing kind of structure of kind of how it went, but then they trusted me and some other individuals to build the culture with some people that were formerly on the street. We knew we had a process that worked because the process saved my life, right? I know that if the 200% accountability model, you can move mountains. And with the proper mentorship, with community volunteers, people teaching, we were able to pull some amazing things together. But it started off with just a few orders, and we had all these amazing donuts that we're producing early in the morning until now we're producing on average over 1,000, almost 1,000 donuts a day with multiple different locations we're delivering to. And now we're up to, I think, 20 employees. And both of the managers for the shop and my wholesale were both formerly living, 10 years on the streets. Wow. One of them couldn't even walk when they came to us. They were learning to walk, learning to even think properly. They had all these memory issues. And just to see the turnaround, you wouldn't know. You met Jennifer yesterday. There's no way you could ever tell unless she wanted to open up and acknowledge her past, that's what was going on. And it took an amazing community supporting her, seeing her as somebody else more than what she's seen herself as. And you just watch what we'll be able to do in the next few years.
Wow, that was amazing. You said something. We're talking donuts here, but this is so much more than that. You said something in passing just a second ago, Nicholas, that this saved your life. You mean that?
I mean that, yeah. You talk about the moving company. That's where I started. My experience was at the moving company. I injured my back when I first got to the academy, and I had to learn to walk. Again, I couldn't walk for about 3 months. I fell out of the back of one of those moving trucks, landed on my side pretty severely, and it changed the direction of my life. I ended up going into the clerk's office, and I worked directly with another staff member, like the coaches at the village, someone with lived experience that had went through Delancey Street, and he gave me a chance. He's like, you can answer these phones. You're more than equipped to run this business. I'm going to give you everything I have, and then you can do with it what you will. And, I can't believe it's been almost 8 years now, but 8 years later, Preston tapped me on the shoulder with the donut shop and gave me that same trust. He said, hey, you've proven yourself thus far. Here's what we want. Here's your support as much as you need. You tell us how to make it happen. And I think we're on track to clear, low estimate, $500,000 this year. But
no kidding.
I want to cover my expenses by the end of the year. And I'm teaching all of those things, margins, how to run a business, how to keep a budget, all those things to anybody that works at the donut shop. It's a incubator, as Preston likes to say, of how to live your life, right? If you can balance a cost sheet in a business, you can do it in your own life as well, right? So that balance sheet.
You say it so nonchalantly, but this is a game changer for so many people. It's a self-sustained, it's a 501c3 charity, but you are self-sustained in that. It is a proof in the pudding that this system works, this program works. People are highly capable. Preston, what would you say is the biggest misnomer? What's the biggest stigma, misconceptualized idea about those that are previously incarcerated, those that maybe are on the street, homeless? What do we not see?
It's what we call the bigotry of low expectations. So there's this unconscious bias that people have when they perceive someone that's on the street. They're either just a number. It's either housing, mental health, poverty, trauma. What is it? There's this intersection and layers of homelessness. You have to dig deep. You have to find out what's the root cause. What's causing that individual to stay on the street for so long? And once you figure that out, who better than someone who's been down that road before and knows what it's like to eat out of a dumpster, knows what it's like to sleep in a park or on a sidewalk. They're our coaches. They're the ones that are lifting people up and helping them get out of that homelessness status. And so you mentioned teach a man to fish. We have 9 core beliefs. One of our beliefs is each one, teach one. So that's very much the teach a man to fish philosophy. Each one, teach one means if Nicholas knows something, now his responsibility is to teach the next person. So when A teaches B, A gets better.
Yeah.
They both get better, but A gets better because he's teaching it.
The students are what they come into this program. They're part of
Students in the academy, neighbors in the village, and when they move into the village, they're villagers.
They're forever home.
Yeah.
Forever home. Those that come into the program, they're part of it. They get their lives together. They learn these skills that are game changers. Do the majority of them then move on and have other successful enterprises, their own businesses? They create their own paths, and the stories after so many years have to be just absolutely mind blowing.
They will. The village has only been around 3 years. To use an example, our director of recruiting, his name's Mo Egan. He went to Delancey Street, graduated from there, helped start the academy, came here to Salt Lake City. He runs 2 successful businesses. One's a local food walking tour here in Salt Lake and Park City.
Cool.
And then he just launched last week the Hop On, Hop Off bus tour downtown. So you'll see a double-decker bus driving around, hop on, hop off. That's his business.
No kidding.
He does such a good job. Such a good job.
So he not only drives a bus, but he gives you a tour and history of all of Salt Lake. So it's people like that who have that entrepreneurial spirit. And I know for a fact we're going to have individuals already who are either early on and they already have these ideas. They'll come in my office and pitch like, hey, what about this idea? I've got this long list of potential social enterprises that I'm like, we could either start or have them run it when they get to that point.
And there are a few that are in the works. I've learned about some of the social enterprises, these new ideas, which will be thriving businesses that'll be great products and services for people. But behind the scenes, what the average person maybe doesn't see is that it's saving lives.
And people have their doubts when it comes to homeless coming into your community, or even a donut shop that's ran by people that were formerly living on the streets. If you have any doubts, please come down and see us. If you just want a sweet treat, please come down and see us. But if you cannot come sit in our shop or meet the people that work there and not feel that warmth that you're describing right now, and know that it's sincere change, lasting change. It's community at its finest, and you can't fake that.
Yeah.
And I think we've had a lot. I don't know how often I hear it where they're like, oh my gosh, when I think of a place where you're putting homeless, like I can picture the apartment complexes right now in my mind. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't go down that street with my kids. I'd be hesitant to do it on my own. But the village, when it's completely done, it'll have a grocery store. It's got a medical clinic that just got framed. It'll have these Airbnbs. It'll be a beacon for the entire state. If you came to Salt Lake City, you didn't come by the village or the donuts, you missed out on an opportunity. It's going to be a place that you want to come and see.
I'll vouch for that. I was there yesterday, driving down Redwood Road. There's not a lot there as I'm approaching, but then I came upon this glowing, colorful donut shop. Nowhere. I'm like, what is this place? And this is the Other Side Donuts. And you walk in and you feel immediately there's an energy in the place. You just go experience it, Utah. Go drive over there. Go buy a donut. Go see it for yourself. And then you see the construction. You see the build of the village and all these other enterprises. It is really awesome. It makes you have hope for what's on the horizon. There's all these ideas. I mean, we've talked about, you said, the homelessness problem of Salt Lake and Utah and many other communities. What's being done about it? Well, this is what's being done about it. This is a solution that works.
Yeah, we've rescued people off the street who would otherwise be dead today. If you ask them, they'll always say, "You saved my life." People that have overcome opioid addiction, people that are overcoming, fleeing domestic violence, human trafficking.
Yeah.
There's lots of examples of individuals of what caused them to live on the street, and for so long, it's getting them off and teaching them and giving them that structure and that friendship and that family. And it all starts with accountability, but it all starts with the desire to change.
Yeah. As you go in there, as Utah is listening to this and other communities, what's the best way that we can help? Get the word out? Is it the donation of the $1? Can we volunteer? Mm-hmm. What can we do?
We are in a capital fundraising phase right now for the village. So the more funds we can raise, the quicker we can build homes and get those homes installed on site as quickly as possible. In addition to that, it would be supporting our social enterprise businesses. If you need a move, support the Other Side Academy, support the movers. If you're looking for that sweet treat, give back, come to the donut shop. Two others, the Other Side Foods, which is getting ready to launch very quickly. And then the Other Side Inn, which will be on site at the village. Those will be essentially 21 unique style, cottage style homes that people can rent on a nightly basis. So like a hotel.
People, I find, generally want to give. They want to help. But there's always that question in your mind, where is my dollar going? If I hand this over, where does it actually end up? And I can vouch, like, this program goes to the right efforts because there's the accountability, there's the desire for change, and you're seeing the success stories of those that are learning new skills, finding new ways to get out of those destructive paths into something that is building our community. And together, it's a win-win-win all the way around.
And when you look at the academy, in the time that they've been around for 10 years, 7 out of 10 that complete the 2.5-year residential, 7 out of 10 stay drug-free, crime-free, and employed. If they stay another year, which is an option, that number goes up to about 86%.
Unbelievable.
So the outcomes and the data that we're able to provide from what your dollar does on accountability, we're all about accountability and transparency too.
Yes, which is huge.
So not only do our folks do their drug testing, but our staff do it just the exact same, top down. So we hold each other accountable. The same process applies to our workforce as it does the populations that we serve.
I think that's what the general public wants to hear. They want to know that they are making a difference. And so I encourage everyone to go get involved. Where can we go? Is there the best website, best phone number? Where can we go?
TheOtherSideVillage.com. There's a volunteer link. If you'd like to schedule a time to come see the village firsthand, we can set up a time to do that. We also have groups that come and help volunteer, either stage homes, build furniture. We've got landscaping going in right now. So a lot of different opportunities for volunteering.
It's the shop. You can go to the donut shop. You can throw a birthday party there. It's a gathering spot. It's a cool place.
So we rent the donut wall. We do large orders for any of your business to the next conference that you have. Let us know. We want to be there with our boxes representing who we are. We do presentations quite a bit. If you want us to come speak about what we're doing and how we're doing it, show up with some donuts. But a big favor that I would ask, we're trying to get our social media off the ground. And so if you can follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, just check us out. We're on TikTok as well. We have an amazing guy on the back end doing just tremendous posts.
What's your handle on those that we can follow?
Other Side Donuts.
The Other Side Donuts. Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, too, if you just like donuts in general, wow, you got to see these works of art. We just had you on the TV show today. Yeah. We're showcasing it. They're beautiful, but they are delicious, too. You're up at 2 a.m. You're working hard in the shop. They're made fresh. Do you guys...
Also coffee. We have the Other Side Coffee, too.
It's just going to keep going. I mean, all these social enterprises it's the endless possibility.
And we didn't mention Thrift Store, which is, we have 2 locations, and I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out to them because they helped us get going. They got us... They've been just huge support of the donut shop and making sure we happen. And then there's also a construction company that helped build the shop, so the Other Side Construction. So
the Thrift Store, absolutely. We got a lot of
the silent heroes in the background.
That's a local favorite for our staff as well. Like, we love you guys. Yeah. There's so many fun, great ways to get involved, and it's making a huge difference. The numbers speak for themselves. How big is the problem in Utah? You were talking some statistics.
When you look at just Salt Lake in general, we're talking about 700 chronically homeless.
Okay.
So they've been on the street for at least 12 months or more. There could be more. That's just what the point in time count has been able to showcase and find in those cold winter months of January. With some of the funding changes happening at the national level, it's going to get worse very quickly.
Yeah. This is a way to help. This can turn it around for so many people.
If you've got, going back to your question, if you're at the donut shop right now, we're looking for a jukebox. So if you have a jukebox, you want to donate, we need a jukebox.
Yeah.
Okay. We're trying to do some things that are a little bit different than, just your average donut shop.
If you have a dream donut that you've always wanted to see out there in the world, just think so, we would be happy if you came in and taught us how to do that recipe. Limitations, no bounds, right? You see how creative we want to be. And all of those donuts were community collaboration. Many individuals went in to create those. Shout out to Brenda Nibley. She wouldn't have been able to do it without her, but it is just,
well,
so many ways to help.
Like in the name, it takes a village, right?
It really does.
It does.
This Other Side Village, all the enterprises, the donuts to the moving company to the thrift shop. Thank you for all you're doing to change the face of our state for the personal lives. As I look at you right here, you can feel the sense that the humanity of it, the human connection that we all have together. We're all fighting good fights, but you guys are proving that together there is strength in numbers. The Other Side Village is where you got to go support these guys. Utah, I'm calling you out, call to action. Help these guys, help take this to the next level. If you ever wanted your dollar to go far, this is where it can make a huge difference. Thank you for being here. Preston, thank you, Nicholas, for your time today. We appreciate you being on Fresh Off the Set. And thank you for listening. This is a great story, a great organization to get involved with. And I just appreciate all you're doing for our community.
Thank you, too.
Thanks for having us.